Hi.
Hey, house guests. Welcome to today's Big Brother Canada 11 Digital Daily Update. Our house guests of the day are Janie B and Isaac Benjamin Songquist.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you both so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate it so much.
Preach.
So thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. All right.
Check it out.
So I know I said I wasn't going to be here today,
check it out.
But now I am here, so...
Her bigger, better deal fell through.
It did. But anyway, all right. Let's talk about what's going on. When we left off yesterday, we found out that Ty is the new HOH. No! I'm sorry. This is like the last thing that I wanted to happen.
It's not because we don't like villains. We just don't like Ty.
I mean, I can appreciate him being a villain, but also like want to root against him. You know what I mean? Blech. All right. So it seems like Ty is targeting either Santina or Renee. I could see Santina, but Renee?
He's got this Renee bug up his butt.
I know.
You know.
I know, but we will see why, I guess. The big question is, will Santina win safety from Bel Air Direct? Because I know a lot of people have been voting for her.
Really hope so.
That's going to mess up Ty's plans if that's the case. The Crown seems pretty confident that they will all be safe this week.
Yeah.
It was a big risk keeping Ty over Dan last week and using a veto on Ty. That's a lot. But
I don't think it's going to pay off.
I know. Ty has already approached Hope about mending fences and working together again because he needs numbers. He needs big, strong guys to win competitions when he can't play. Yes. So
ride or die.
Hope is saying he's going to try to protect the Crown this week, you know, through his connection with Ty. No offense, but I would be nervous if Hope was like the representative of my alliance, like trying to keep everybody in the group safe.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, what are the chances he goes to Ty and he's like, all right, you should keep all of these people safe because, like, I'm working with them.
Oh.
That would make me very nervous.
Yeah.
In other Crown-related news, we saw that there were some issues with picking out the next target moving forward. And Kuzi and Jonathan have really been pushing for the whole group to target Ty next week.
Yes.
Especially now that he's not going to be able to play in the next HOH competition.
Right. Smart equals sexy.
Well, they're trying to make it happen. We'll see how it goes. So let's talk about today's Digital Daily, which covers April 7th, day 35 in the house.
It's an hour and 25 minutes of day 27.
Yeah, it was a lot of Santina-focused content.
It was a lot of hen drama.
There was some drama. So, okay. There was some like BS in the beginning, whatever. We don't need to talk about that. So let's get to the good stuff. Hope
I want to be picked to play as like
not on the block.
Not on the block.
Yeah. So Hope and Jonathan are chatting in the library.
Yes.
And they are discussing some girl drama. Hope says, listen, Anika has been putting in so much effort trying to prepare food for everyone. She's making meals, especially now that Dan is gone. You know, everybody is scrounging for food and trying to make it work.
Okay, that's great if you're making HelloFresh. But
when you're cooking from scratch,
when you don't consult the script and you just throw some crap together,
it's not always going to come out great.
Exactly.
So apparently there was some incident with Waffles, which we'll get into some more. But Santina made a comment about Anika's cooking. And Anika's feelings were hurt, and like Santina and Anika got into it. Yeah. So Hope was like, I want this to stop. I don't like it. I don't like the way that Santina is treating Anika. And Jonathan's like, I know, I get it, but sometimes it's best to just, as
let the
Elsa would
ladies
say,
work it out.
Yeah, let it go.
Leave the mothers out of it.
Yes, it is Wafflegate. It reminds me of Housewives when some of the house husbands get involved, and it's like, why are you getting involved in this drama?
Let the wives work it out.
But of course,
they don't need your 2 cents.
Yeah, this Wafflegate is the talk of the house right now because, like, they have a lack of information here. Yeah. Here is something that they can like sink their teeth into, like an uncooked, unflavored waffle.
I don't think the problem was that it was uncooked.
I think it was like the content of it. Yeah. Which we'll get to in a minute. Yeah. But
they didn't have any chemicals in it. So it didn't taste good.
Hope really does not want to see this real life, like living drama factor into the gameplay. Because remember, Jonathan and Hope are trying to bring Santina into the mix with their Crown Alliance, but it's not going great because the rest of the alliance does not like Santina, and this is not going to help that situation.
And people who make waves get up on the block.
True.
And they don't want one of their alliance members up on the block.
Or Santina, one of their potential numbers.
Right.
So we're going to come back to Wafflegate. But in other news, Hope was telling Jonathan, I feel like I'm finally getting closer to Shania. We've been talking more. And Jonathan's like, yeah, she's good stuff. Shania's just trying to find her way in the game.
A month in?
We're halfway through. I think she should move a little faster,
had the
maybe.
halfway party.
A little bit. I mean, she hasn't really done much in this house so far.
Oh, thank you, Jody Cortez, for the
Jody.
super chat, and happy Super Easter to you as well.
Definitely.
May the Lord be with you.
Yes. So going into this new week, Hope is saying it's going to be interesting talking to Ty. He's not really sure what he's going to have planned for this week. And Jonathan advises him, just go in there, talk about your game with Ty. Don't feel like you need to talk about everyone else's and like protect all of us. I could just see Hope going in there and just like,
okay, so me and Jonathan are really close, and
yeah,
we're also working with 3 other people. I won't say who. I won't mention any names.
This is what their names rhyme with. No.
Yeah.
So Hope feels like Ty, trying to work with him is more so Ty just looking for protection going into next week. Because again, Ty cannot play in the next HOH competition, right? He's going to be the outgoing HOH. So he wants a strong competitor in his corner. So Jonathan's like, all right, well, don't promise him any protection. Like, you don't need to do that. You don't want to have to go back on that.
You taught me better than that, man.
Yeah. So it's funny, though, because I feel like Hope was about to say, I'll promise him protection, but
I'm almost certain that he's going to offer him protection next week. Almost certain.
Yeah. I could see him saying that and then watch Hope win and be like, I told him I wouldn't go after him. So now I don't know what to do. I could totally see that happening. So they cut away to some other combos. Eventually they come back to Hope and Jonathan. And now Hope is lamenting about losing the HOH comp to Ty because Hope is like, oh, I worked so hard. Like, I prepared so hard outside of this house. The things that I did to my body are insane, blah, blah, blah.
What did you do?
I think he just means with like the intensity of his workouts, but
he did jump 5 feet straight up in the air.
He did. We saw that in his intro video. But he was just upset that he couldn't outlast Ty in that competition. And Jonathan, again, is just trying to like pump him back up, be like, your time's coming, blah, blah, blah.
Sometimes the guys with the biggest muscles are
the smallest egos.
Well, also the least.
Or sorry, not the smallest, but the most fragile.
Yes, but I mean, in terms of competing, they just do not have the right muscles.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I feel like
the muscles work against them.
For a competition like that, you need to have like lean muscle.
Right.
Right,
not bulky.
Yeah, so I don't know. But that's a whole thing. So then
isn't it though?
Yeah. We have Anika talking to Ty, Kuzi, and Claudia about the Wafflegate drama.
Oh, Wafflegate.
So Anika is saying, like, I knew this whole time that Santina, the person that she's pretending to be, that's not who she really is. She's not this nice angel person that she's acting like.
I don't think she's acting like an angel person.
I mean, I feel like she tries to give off that persona sometimes.
I feel like she's just not talking as much as everybody else, sitting back and observing what's going on. And if that comes off as I'm better than you, then that's probably what they're observing.
I don't know. But okay, let's break down what happened here. So apparently Anika has been making waffles with this pancake mix, a pre-made pancake mix. So you just add water and eggs. You make the waffles. Sometimes you just add water.
Eggs, milk, and
I don't know. Sometimes you literally just add water.
Okay.
It depends on the mix.
Right.
So they were almost out of it. They only had enough mix left for like 2 waffles.
1.5 cups.
Yes. So she was like, all right, I'm going to cook that up. And then I'm also going to make or try to make my own mix for these waffles. So she didn't have a recipe to work off of. And the waffles that she made from scratch turned out like crap. So Okay.
What I would have done is used what was left as a base.
Right.
And built on that and had everything taste like crap instead of some of them.
Mm-hmm.
Because she made some perfect ones and then she made some experimental ones.
Right.
Do you want to be in the study? We don't know if you're going to be in the control group or the
right.
or the treatment group.
Yeah.
So she, instead of effing them all up, she just effed up some of them.
Right. So then Santina comes over and she's like, I'll just take 2.
Right.
So she gets some of the crap waffles.
Yeah, they serve her up the crap ones. She didn't take the crap ones. They gave her the crap ones.
And I believe Anika put out a warning like, look, I made these from scratch. They're not that great.
I didn't hear her say that.
I thought I heard her say that in the retail.
Okay.
We did not see this actual event first person account. So we're going off of what everyone is saying. But it seems like the stories were pretty consistent with what happened.
Well, there's always 3 sides to every story.
Yeah.
Your side, my side, and what actually happened.
Right. So Santina tries the crap waffle and is like, this is not very good.
She said this isn't cooked.
Yeah. She's like, can I get like one of the other ones that like has more flavor or something?
Yeah. She said this just tastes like flour.
And Anika was like, the way you said that just now was very rude.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I put in time to try and make this for everybody. And if you don't like it, you can make your own breakfast. So Santina's like, well, I'm entitled to have good waffles just like anyone else, blah, blah, blah. And apparently...
why didn't they ask her if she wanted a good waffle? Or why would, you know?
From one of the retails, Daniel C. was saying that he was trying to get together one of the good waffles as this whole conversation was going down for Santina. So then Santina called Anika a rude ass, and as she was like storming off after she threw her plate on the counter, she called Anika an effing bee. And then she continued to like vent about the situation to other people like upstairs.
Is that why she was alone in the bathroom doing her hair at the beginning? Maybe. And Anika went in to make a pee-pee?
That could be. So yeah, there's some drama there, and apparently Santina was like crying after the incident. It was this whole thing. So Ty tells Anika, don't stress over it. Don't let her get in your head.
I mean, I'm sure Santina is super stressed this week because people know that she was the secret HOH last week.
And one of her nominees is now the open HOH this week.
So I'm sure she is stressed out.
That doesn't give her an excuse to be rude, though. I think what she said to Anika was very rude. Where
she's probably coming from.
Yeah. I think that Santina was bad here. She was rude, for sure.
Yeah.
If you're accepting food that somebody else made, like, don't be complaining about it. Make your own breakfast if you don't like it.
Yeah, she was rude, but I could see where she's coming from. I'm not making excuses for her. I'm just
You're just saying this is why she's probably acting that way.
Right.
All right. So then there were more retellings of the waffle incident if you didn't get enough the first 5 times. And then Jonathan was chatting with Ty in the HOH room. They go over Wafflegate. Oh my God. And then something new. Jonathan has been a little bit nervous this week that he could potentially be a target of Ty's. So Jonathan says, look, I don't want to take up a lot of your time, but I just wanted to see where your head is at right now. And Ty immediately is like, you're not going up. You know,
you can kick your feet up, Marty.
No, if I was ever even considering you as like a pawn, I would come to you first and make sure that you're okay with it.
Would he though?
So, I mean, it would depend, you know. I feel like he's not worried about Jonathan at this point, which is like crazy to me because he should be.
I feel like, that's
he should be worried. But yeah, Ty is telling Jonathan, you're nowhere near my radar. You don't have to worry. Kick your feet up, Marty.
Yeah, Marty.
So Ty says, I got to talk to everyone to figure out who I am going to put on the block.
Right.
All right. So it was a pretty quick conversation. Can you not work on this puzzle while we're doing this? So then,
got it.
Just a quick, I'm very happy for
Thank you.
Just a very quick showman's update. It sounds like Claudia did sleep in the HOH room with Ty last night.
I give it a...
Yeah, because she was telling Daniel, oh, Ty told me that I snored. I don't snore, right? And Daniel's like, no, I've never heard you snore.
I've never heard you snore.
Yeah, so they shared a bed.
Great.
I'm sure the show will be playing the hell out of that.
Look at
Playing
this.
it up.
We're practically having a Big Brother Canada baby.
All right. So then, oh my God, the rest of this digital daily was Santina chatting with Ty in the HOH room, and it was exhausting.
It was more than exhausting. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. So starting off, Santina's like, all right, I feel like I know what you're going to do this week. I don't want you to put me up on the block, but if you do, I get it. You know, I'm not going to be all mad. So
just be cool.
Ty says, we're going to have to see what happens. You know, why do you think I'm going to put you up? Really? So you know he's on his bullshit right now. He's playing his games. So Santina's like, well, because of the way things went down last week. And Ty is like, why? What happened last week? He is so annoying. The way he like plays dumb and like asks all these questions to get people to say stuff. It's very
tries
annoying
to trip him up, and it's exhausting.
Santina's like, because of us fighting, remember? And Ty's like, oh, I wasn't fighting. Maybe you were.
Really?
Sir, come on. You were looking for something there. Come on. So, yeah. I seem to remember Ty fighting with Santina last week.
Yeah, of course.
So
everybody knows that.
Ty is like, well, I want to know what's going on with you and Renee.
What's your relationship with Renee?
Nothing. I don't know.
Should I say? What's your relationship with Renee?
Exactly. It's so weird to me how like everyone seems to be linking Renee and Santina after last week when I feel like Renee had nothing to do with Santina's moves.
You couldn't pick two further people from each other.
Yeah. So we do find out why in this conversation they are being linked together. So first of all, Santina's like, I don't really have a relationship with Renee or anyone at this point. I'm kind of like a lone wolf, which seems true. I mean, she was confiding in Jonathan last week, but they weren't like aligned per se. So Ty's like, oh, you weren't working together with Renee last week?
Why did you tell her to shoot her shot?
So it all comes back to this comment that Santina made after the nomination ceremony, which she definitely did to try and place the blame on Renee, to try and frame her and make it look like she's the HOH. And now it's coming back to bite her because now everyone's like, oh, Santina and Renee are working together.
Right.
So Ty full on goes into interrogation mode. And Santina's like, well, I said that because I thought that Renee was a secret HOH. And Ty's like, well, it wasn't a good look for you to say shoot your shot to Renee when I was up on the block.
When I was so shot.
Because then it makes it look like you want me out and I was supposed to be your number one guy. So.
Oh, really?
I know.
Really? Number one guy. That'll come back later.
So Santina was like, I would have fought for you to come off the block. Girl, we know you put him up there. So she's BSing, but he's also BSing. It's a whole lot of BS being flung back and forth between these two.
She's saying, I thought we were working together.
You didn't tell me that you won the veto. And judging by what she said in her special DR that they put up, you know, answering the questions, she actually does think that Ty won the veto and lied to her. She doesn't think it's Daniel C.
Really?
Yeah. So that's interesting that she thinks that. But he was like, oh, well, I don't have to tell you. Like, if you're not the HOH, you shouldn't care. It's not like your plans are getting messed up.
He was also fixated on why would you think that I would be the only one who would take myself off the block if I won the veto?
Yeah.
Nobody else would take me off the block?
Yeah. So he's like, well, what about Claudia? And she's like, Claudia's on the block. So clearly she did not win.
Yeah.
So they were both just like trying to set traps for each other to have like an aha moment. But they both kept like lying and
it was ridiculous. Like, what was the whole thing about? Like, you thought I won HOH? Santina thinking Ty won HOH.
Yeah, which didn't make sense why he would even bring that up.
How can that be possible? Because he was up on the block.
Yeah.
You can't nominate yourselves. Pax Bros.
It was a lot of, it was a lot of ridiculousness. But Ty at one point was also telling Santina, like, you need to reevaluate who is targeting you and who's not. Because he was kind of like chastising her for even going after Dan or wanting Renee to go after Dan in the first place last week. instead of like Kuzi. And he was kind of throwing Kuzi under the bus here, saying, oh, Kuzi's the one that put you up on the block. And if Vanessa didn't leave, you would be gone. And it might be unanimous. Like, everybody wanted you out. And again, he's like throwing Kuzi under the bus. And she's like, well, you were in and out of that HOH room quite a bit. You're going to tell me you didn't know that Kuzi was putting me up?
He knew, and she knows it.
And he's lying about it.
There was a whole kerfuffle, too, about when they were working together. They both agreed that they were working together.
Week one.
But then Santina went rogue, and they weren't working together anymore. Up until last week, when they still weren't working together, when Zach was on the block along with Santina, and Santina was like, well, how come I wasn't your number one when Zach was up on the block, when you're saying you're expecting to be my number one?
So it's like a whole mess. So at one point, Santina's like, I just want to know ahead of time if I'm going up on the block. You know, it's just out of respect if you could tell me. And Ty comes back with, I don't think you can demand any respect from me after a comment like that. And he's talking about the shoot your shot thing. Oh my God. So Ty's like, I'm not petty. Really? Rob sweatshirt.
Like it.
Claudia, Rob sweatshirt.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'll let you know later today. Okay. I think she knows. I think she has her answer. So they continue to go around in circles. Again, it's so exhausting. They're both lying to each other. They're both being so tedious.
Yeah.
And Ty's like, I try to be a good person and people take advantage of it. I'm the most honest guy in this house.
No.
I don't think so. He also said this gem, basically summing up the way he interrogates people, which we've seen over and over again. He said like 9 times out of 10, when he asks someone a question, he already knows the answer.
He's trying to trip them up.
He does.
Yeah.
And he's just trying to see.
Who was the HOH last week?
Yeah. He's just trying to see if they're going to lie to him or not. But like, he's so arrogant. He's so set in his ways. He thinks he knows all these answers.
He thinks he knows if they're lying or not, but he don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
he doesn't know.
Granted, Santina was lying here for sure.
So was he.
But he was too. And yeah. Anyway. Like you said, Ty was claiming they were never actively working together. That makes Santina cry, which I don't know if those were real tears.
Think those were fake.
I don't think that was real.
Those were fake AF.
She was like, I feel so dumb. That's why I'm crying, because I thought we were working together. But like, she's got to be acting, right? I mean, she literally put him up on the block last week.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was fake. But he was like laughing while she was crying.
That is cold.
Doing his...
Yeah.
So, yeah, the digital daily ended after their conversation ended. And by the end of it, she was like,
us the anesthesia.
Yeah, she was like, all right, you don't have to tell me if I'm going up or not. I think she knows.
I think she knows.
But is she going up?
I hope not.
We didn't see any nominations, of course, by the end of the digital daily.
They don't do that.
It seems like Ty is still planning to put up Santina and Renee. But what is he going to do if Santina wins the safety vote? Are you really going to tell me he's just going to target Renee? Because that would be so lame. I don't know if he would actually do that.
Who do you think he's going to put up?
I don't know. I don't know who he would put up instead of Santina.
Well, he already told Jonathan he's not putting him up.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to get Hope's trust back, so he's not going to put him up.
Mm-hmm. But is Hope going to be like, yeah, put me up. I want the dub.
No.
Okay.
He's beyond that already, I feel like.
I don't know. He might, feel safe with his numbers. You never know.
As much as he has a weird ass relationship with Claudia, I don't think he's going to put her up.
No.
So the only ones that are left are Kuzi, Shania, and Anika.
What about Daniel? I mean, that would be pretty crappy to put Daniel C.
Daniel just used the POV on him last week, so I don't think he's going to do that. And didn't Daniel ask for safety for him and Anika?
I mean, kind of, right?
And I feel like he talks more game with Anika than he does with Shania, so I think it's going to be Shania.
Could be.
Shania and Renea.
I would be pissed if I was Claudia. But we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting.
Oh, no. What's happening to Teen Girl Squad?
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. Let us know what you think about all this in the comments.
I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah. We hope you have a wonderful Easter if you
Happy
celebrate.
Easter. Spetan Uskis.
And we'll be back on Monday for more. So thank you for watching. And until then, much love.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, awkward girl.
Bye. Bye.